Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Friday, March the 17th. Race number 5 at the Big A. We're going a 2-turn mile over the inner dirt. It's a state-bred maiden special weight for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. Let's take a look at this field. A field of 9, Mike. 2 horses figure to take the lion's share of the wagering. The 5 North End and the 1 Decorator Jen.
Right, they're the 2 favorites on the morning line. I guess that 5 will probably take too much money. I mean, I thought the 1 was the horse to beat just based off her last race, but that 5 feels like she's going to take her share of the money in here.
Remember, friends, head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download those free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us and Decorator Jen, inside post, weighed off with a capable bug rider and speed. Is it as simple as that?
It could be, and she got a 72 buyer for her last race, which I guess makes her the horse to beat in this race. She ran fine first time out, a little bit of a trip in that race, as Linda Rice's horses all tend to do second time out.
That was
really improved. She ran a good race there. I didn't really see her excuse in that race. I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe she just didn't see it out. She had the lead right down to the stripes, and she just couldn't see it out till she got nailed at the end, but she still ran a 72.
I wonder if that's why Linda's going to the bug here to shed 10 pounds. Yeah. I think maybe this one had problems seeing it out. It looked like she had it all the way down to the line. She was fending off the winner, and just at the very end of that race, she paid the price. But she was prompting the pace early. I think with the unfavored half of that coupled 1-5 entry.
Yeah, I'm not sure which half they were betting. I feel like they both had, actually, both halves of that entry had some qualities to recommend them. The one that she was on the pace with was terrible in there, and the other one came running for third at the end. I don't know. I thought she ran fine last time. I don't love her in this race, but I do think she's the horse to beat.
2-1, second choice on the morning line for the 1, Decorator Jen. She looks like the 1 to catch. The 2 is Verona Blue. Verona Blue finished 3rd last time out, her first on-the-board finish, but she was beaten a country mile.
Yeah, the 1-5 favorite in there blew that field out of the water. She was stepping up in class for that race. I mean, she doesn't have a race on her page that makes her a contender in here.
Runner-up from that race came back to drop down to 40 and win with a 46 buyer. The 3 Sister Patricia, first time in with Statebreds. She's been plying her trade at Parks for trainer Danny Velasquez. 3rd last time out behind Thirst for the Cup. First time Lasix, first time 2 turns. Perhaps she can improve off that performance. I guess she's the other horse behind the 2 favorites.
Maybe she is. We'll see what happens if she ships in to face New York Reds for the first time. Maybe it helps her. I don't like her last race where they stretched her. I didn't like the way that she finished. I don't like the way that she's finished in any of her races so far. She's run against 3 pretty good horses. She was in against Miss Locust Point in her debut. She was in against Modacious in her second start. That Pletcher horse that beat her last time, I guess, is okay. I like the races that she's been running in. I just don't like any of her performances in those races.
Number 4 is Hey Lady, who missed last time out in a state-bred maiden on February the 20th, but she's at least hit the board in her last 4 races. She's got a little bit of tactical speed. She's got to get those buyers cooking, though.
Yeah, she's just not fast enough to win here. The 56, the top number that she's ever run in her life, which was the first time they stretched her out. I mean, she rode a gold rail every step of the way in there and just couldn't get up at the end. I don't see it with her.
The horse they're probably going to have to beat is that morning line favorite, the number 5, North End. It's Irad, it's Chad Brown, it's a second-time starter getting Lasix for the first time. She's going to have to stretch out around 2 turns. She was running at the end of her sprint, though.
Yeah, it did seem like it, right? I mean, maybe she just needed it. I didn't see any real trouble with her. She just got outrun early in that race and then was running at the end. Maybe she benefits from that race and stretches out effectively with Lasix going on. The horse that beat her in that race, Maple Mo, I thought was pretty good that day. Another Linda Rice second-time starter. She didn't come back and run that well in her next start. That bothers me a little bit about this horse, but otherwise, I mean, what's not to like about her?
The pace setter in that race, though, did come back to win, and that was Zella Scholar, the 3rd-place finisher, who set some pretty fast fractions for that level. Well. I mean, that race for 3-year-old filly New York Reds ended up being very slightly faster than an older maiden special weight. An open race for males on the same card. North End seemed to be running. She took a lot of money in that spot. Yeah, she's the one to beat. Does 2 turns worry you?
No, not really. I mean, it feels like Chad maybe just had this in mind the whole time. Give her a sprint and then stretch her out for her second start. And he, of course, has great numbers stretching out with second-time starters.
Scarlett Johansson, the number 6, is a little bit interesting because she made her debut going 2 turns. She caught a runaway that day. The runner-up came back. That was the one that wore down Decorator Jen last time out, winning with a 72 buyer. Perhaps this one can improve second out for a very good trainer.
Right. She was my other horse besides the 2 favorites. This is the only other horse that I want to use in the race, just on the theory that she can improve second time out. She got bumped at the start of that race, was way laid-back outrun. I thought she put in a little bit of a run through this race. She's got a nice pedigree. I think that was a good field she was in. There are ways to look at her, I think, and think she's going to run a lot better this time.
Maybe you can make some dough with the 7 Zapoli, who last time out was beaten 17 lengths by Votre Cœur. That was a race where she was a little bit wide, but I don't like the way she backed it up. That was a really disappointing performance. At this point, you have to wonder if she needs a drop.
She's been pretty disappointed in each of her last 2 starts, because I thought she actually ran fine the first time there when they stretched her down the inner dirt back on December 8th. Her last 2 starts are terrible.
The 8 Hyde Park Express finished a somewhat one-paced third last time out in a state-bred maiden, but it was her first race off a little bit of a layoff. She seems like more of a turf runner at this point. I wonder if they're just trying to leg her up and get her back ready for the spring season on grass.
Turf races are better than her dirt races.
The 9 is Out of Nowhere, who's 0 for 18 lifetime formulator fact for Russell Cash. I think Russell Cash is a lot better trainer than his usual formulator facts. This formulator fact isn't very good. Past 5 years with 3-year-olds and up on dirt, going third off the layoff, 0 for 39. But this horse can show a little bit of speed stretching out. I wonder if this horse is aggressively ridden, trying to put a little bit of heat on Decorator Jen.
Yeah, I guess that could be the case with this horse, who does have some speed. Her dirt form is just not good. Her turf form is actually way better than her dirt form.
Let's take a look at our top selections for race number 5 at the Big A. We're both going with the 3-year-old, North End. Decorator Jen's also a 3-year-old. Does it bother you this time of the year, them facing older horses?
No.
Or are we getting to a point where it doesn't bother you at all?
No, especially against the field like this. The older horses, they've had their chances.
North End is our top selection. Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz. I'm going 5, 1, 3, and 6. If you are playing the Friday race of the day from home, $300 sign-up bonus waiting for new DRF Bet subscribers at drf.com/trifecta. Approximate post time for race number 5 at the Big A. It's a state-bred maiden special weight and has approximate post time of 3:20 Eastern. Best of luck.